Let's hear Nancy Pelosi explain a little bit more. I mean, I think, like I say, I think there is an argument that shutting down the government is a riskier strategy than one would imagine, because I do think that there's an opportunity to make the Democrats responsible for our, coronavirus thing. I mean, on balance, I probably would still go for use the continuing resolution. But here's Nancy Pelosi suggesting there are other arrows in her quiver, but she's not going to tell you what they are, which...
No guarantee that the White House and Senate Republicans won't try to push through a Supreme Court nomination in a lame duck session, even if Joe Biden wins on November 3rd, even if Democrats pick up seats in the House and maybe even the Senate. So what can you do then? Some have mentioned the possibility, if they try to push through a nominee in a lame duck session, that you and the House could move to impeach President Trump or Attorney General Barr as a way of stalling and preventing the Senate from acting on this nomination.
Well, we have our options. We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now. But the fact is, we have a big challenge in our country. This president has threatened to not even accept the results of the election with statements that he and his henchmen have made. So right now, our main goal, and I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg would want that would be to protect the integrity of the election as we protect the American people from the coronavirus. And I have faith in the American people on this Sunday morning. I hope and pray we have a vaccine and that it will be soon, but it must be safe and efficacious when we do, not one day sooner, not one day later than that. But the fact is, this administration has been a total failure in protecting.
All right. We don't know. This is all. The rest of it is just chum. But I think I would not be surprised if Biden wins that they would start impeachment hearings, because you're about as far away from the political implications. I think the political implications are not there anyways, but they're very, very, very timid in that respect. Here is Joe Biden on Saturday making an appeal to the Republican senators that, gosh, I'm trying to look at like the bright side on some of this stuff, and I will tell you about it after you watch this Joe Biden appeal.
Oh, man.
It does vote. Winning that vote, if it happens, is everything. Action and reaction, anger and more anger, sorrow and frustration at the way things are in this country now politically. That's the cycle that Republican senators will continue to perpetuate if they go down this dangerous path that they put us on. We need to de-escalate, not escalate. So I appeal to those few Senate Republicans, the handful who really will decide what happens. Please follow your conscience. Don't vote to confirm anyone nominated under the circumstances President Trump and Senator McConnell have created. Don't go there. Uphold your constitutional duty, your conscience. Let the people speak. Cool the flames that have been engulfing our country. We can't keep rewriting history, scrambling norms, ignoring our cherished system of checks and balances. That includes this whole business of releasing a list of potential nominees that I would put forward. But now saying, after Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, they said Biden should release his list. It's no wonder the Trump campaign asked that I release the list only after she passed away. It's a game for them. It's a play to gin up emotions and anger.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
The idea that Joe Biden still believes this is one of the most disturbing, because I think he's sincere. I think it's one of the most disturbing things that I can imagine. And so when I think of like, is there any silver lining here? Yes. And that is when they have this vote, maybe Joe Biden realizes like, hey, maybe this spell isn't broken. Maybe I can't work with these guys.
Yeah, and maybe the voters and the people realize that Biden is a dumbass and the things he says are ridiculous.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen because I want him to win as president. But afterwards, after he wins the election, that's fine. And then the idea that in this instance, the pressure is going to be enormous to pack the court, which means because I'm seeing people out there who are like, well, maybe if they hold off the seat and they give it to Biden and Biden will put in a moderate. Look, the fact of the matter is that there is still a seat that is occupied by Gorsuch, which is a stolen seat. It is a stolen seat. And there is nothing in the Constitution about the size of the court. It's a law that was passed in the 1800s, I think it was. We've had Supreme Courts that were like the 6 members. I think we've had Supreme Courts that were 7 members. I think we've had Supreme Courts that were 10 members at some times. This is a statute. And the norms are off. That's off the table. They have already indicated that. Packing the court is the only way. And here's the thing. If you're going to pack the court, you pack it in such a way that they can't come back. Because if you go, going down this road with the Republicans, they will strike back. Democrats, they're throwing around the idea. Chris Coons, as of like a year ago, was saying if we get it back, we should really reinsert the filibuster. I mean, the naivete and or just the intense desire to not have the accountability to allow the Republicans to thwart things so that you don't have to essentially show that you're interested in thwarting certain things. That is incredibly intense. So the silver lining here is that maybe it'll make it impossible. If Joe Biden is sincere, then it will maybe the scales will drop from his eyes. If he's insincere, it will make it impossible for him to maintain that posture going forward. Those are the only upsides.
I read about an interesting strategy from Matt Iglesias. It's called 1 billion Supreme Court justices.
There you go.
That's an even number, though. So it'd have to be 1 billion and 1 or
that's
1 billion and 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
it was a review copy.
Iglesias wrong again.
Well, I think we're discounting Biden a little bit too early here because it appears that after giving the speech, he has deployed a secret weapon to make it happen, to appeal to those GOP's senators.
I'm going to be working this week to reach across the aisle and see if I can't persuade some friends to respect tradition, to respect the precedent they set in 2016, and to let the voters decide.
Persuasion, Jamie.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, boy.
6 more years.
Boy, can I frame that? Is there a way to make that 2-dimensional and static on a piece of paper, capture all of that in a single moment? Have we developed the technology yet for that? I don't want a snapshot of that. I want the entire moment, but something that I can hang on the wall.
I feel like we have something like that.
I feel like the Elon Musk neural implants.
Yes.
Your brain.
There it is. Chris Coons is desperate. He is going to be the fulcrum. I told you guys this a long time ago. Chris Coons is just setting himself up to be the gang of 6, the gang of 8, whatever it is. God.